What's up, everybody? Let's get right into it and talk about things that I hate about my new Tundra. Now, hate might be a pretty strong word for some of these things, but there's still things that I wish either Toyota would have done better or differently, or that would just be different based on my personal opinion. So let's talk about the first thing that I hate about my Toyota Tundra, and that is the MPGs. Now, this is not going to be a surprise to most of you watching, nor is it really a surprise to me, but it's still something that I think after all these years, Toyota should have done a little bit better after waiting so long for the redesign, introducing the V6 engine instead of the V8, and still getting pretty crappy gas mileage. I'm averaging 13.0 miles per gallon on my first 2,000 miles of ownership on this truck. Now, granted, I do have 35s on this truck, and if you've seen my other videos, you've seen the setup that I have, but even before I put the 35s on, my mileage was not that great. Obviously, I didn't buy the truck for the MPGs, nor am I going to get rid of it because of the MPGs, but it's still something that I'd throw on the list of things that I do not like about this truck and something that I think Toyota can do better in the future. Now, let's talk about number two, and that is the wind noise and or the wind whistle that I get, specifically from my driver's side mirror while driving at highway speeds. Now, after reading the forums, a lot of people are having this issue. And it sounds like there's certain ways to fix it that don't involve bringing it back to the dealership. So I'm going to make a separate video on tackling this project and trying to fix that wind noise that I get from the mirror, because it's super annoying. It's something that should not happen on a truck of this caliber, and something that definitely Toyota should address as soon as possible in order to get these trucks off the line without any weird noises like that coming at speeds greater than, let's say, 60 miles an hour. I'm going to put a clip in right now of that noise so you guys can see what it sounds like if you're unaware of what I'm talking about. Yeah, so there it is. It's pretty annoying. Most of the time I have my music on so I don't hear it because it's drowned out anyways, but for the times that I don't, and just in general, it should not be there. It should not be a thing. I'm going to try to fix it without taking it back to the dealer and make a video for you guys. We'll see how that goes. But if enough people complain about it and report the issue, hopefully Toyota addresses it sooner than later. All right, let's move on to the next thing that I hate about the Tundra. Now, this one's definitely not a hate. This is more so just a personal preference thing. But let's talk about the gray / chrome / whatever color you want to call it across the dash, doors, etc. Now, if you look at the interior of the TRD Pro, the color you get when you upgrade to that trim is more dark gray, charcoal, black, etc. Now, I wish that there was an option when you added the TRD off-road package to a trim like mine, like Limited, that you could also get those interior accents on the dash and doors. I get that there's things that you have to maintain about the TRD Pro in order to keep people buying that trim and make it more exclusive, but personal preference, be kind of cool if that was an option, and or if that was just standard when you added the TRD off-road package to trims like the SR5 or Limited or whatever it may be, without only having those color schemes on one trim. Again, hate's a very strong word for that one, just a personal preference thing. There is a lot of light grays. It's fine, I'm totally cool with it, but I would like it that much better on the inside of this truck if it was a little darker and or blacked out to kind of match the sporty aesthetic of the rest of the truck and the exterior. Now, let's talk about something else that I noticed that I have not really read anybody else having this problem or noticing this, so I don't know if it's just a fluke on my end. Again, it's not that huge of a deal, but in my back seat, the 60-40 split does not perfectly align. Now, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to things like that, so I pretty much noticed it right when I got the truck. And yeah, the average person's not going to notice it, and yeah, I'm not going to mess around with trying to get a seat replaced in order to have it align perfectly, but it's still something that I think should not happen in a truck like this, and they should be able to make sure that's perfectly or near perfectly aligned and not have somebody like me be able to clearly notice a misalignment right out of the gate. Another small detail that I think could be streamlined a bit better is when I have the rear window down in the truck and I go over any sort of a bump. Now, partially this could be because of the stiffer tires I have on the truck, but also my ride isn't that stiff, so there shouldn't be that much noise occurring when going over bumps. But when I'm driving with the back window down, it is pretty clear that there's some sort of a clanking going on when the truck goes over bumps. Now, at first I thought it was coming from the bed. I thought maybe it's coming from the window inside of the truck when it is rolled down, and I don't really know where it's coming from. So something I'm going to continue to explore, maybe make another video on when I'm dialing in the wind noise, etc. But something that I think could be streamlined a little bit better by Toyota out of the factory, just to make sure there's no loose ends on a truck like this. Now let's talk about the final thing on my list that I hate about this truck in my first 2,000 miles of ownership, and that is nothing else that I can think of right now. I do love the truck. I'm happy with my purchase. I will be making a video on things I love about the truck specifically as well. And if anybody has any questions or specific things you want me to address, both on the pros, cons, likes, and dislikes side, I'm happy to do so. I'll try to respond to comments down below. So far, I'm having a great time. I'm having some fun creating some content. I'm going to continue to do so. I have a lot more ideas in the pipeline. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you want to be along for the ride. Appreciate you guys watching. See you next time.